Send in the red shirts.
So I watched Context is for Kings last Sunday, the most recent episode. And then I watched it again last night, and I realized that there were a couple things that I really didn't pick up on the first time I saw it, and I'm a little confused now. I'm hoping you can help me out. So the first time I saw it, I assumed that that creature, that was like Lorca's pet, because they showed it at the end. Spoiler, they show it at the end, and it's kind of behind this like force field. And maybe I was distracted while I was tweeting or whatnot. I thought that was the pet, the creature's cage where Lorca kept him, and he had unleashed that creature on the crew of the Glen for whatever reason, because he wanted to hide that top secret experiment that they were doing. But then this time when I watched it just last night, there's a line of dialogue where Lorca says to his Landry, to his security officer, he says, "Thank you for transporting that thing over here," which then indicates to me that creature was already on the Glen. What was that thing doing on the ship? How did it get on the USS Glen? I have to admit, it wasn't clear to me that the whole experiment with the spores was being used on the USS Glen to get the USS Glen to achieve, I don't know, faster than light speed or faster than warp travel. I thought they were trying to use those spores on humans to get them to be able to teleport, not for the purposes of having a ship travel at faster than light speed. So then I realized on second viewing that all of the one crewman, I think his name was Strayall, that his face was distorted and his body was kind of ripped apart. I thought that was from the creature, but apparently, I guess, that was an effect of the experiment on the ship, the USS Glen, going bad. So clearly, I missed a lot of stuff. But that begs the question, what were the Klingons doing on the ship? Because I thought maybe the ship had been set adrift because it had been captured by the Klingons. They were trying to take it over. And this creature had been beamed over by Lorca to get rid of the Klingons. So, and then maybe the creature took over the crew or killed the crew as well. So I was completely in the dark. I admit it. I didn't catch everything. So those are the questions I have. Help me out. Why or how was that creature? How did it get there in the first place? And what were Klingons doing on the ship, on the USS Glen? Now, I read the Wikipedia summary. I read the Memory Alpha Star Trek Wiki summary. I watched the episode a third time with subtitles on to see if I could pick up anything. I did not. So if you know the answer to those questions, please let me know. But the bigger question within all of this is, what is Lorca up to? What is his deal? He tells Michael that he had arranged for the shuttle. The flight course was altered to rendezvous with the Discovery so that he could grab Michael and bring her on to the Discovery. So does that mean that he manufactured the whole thing with the shuttle pilot getting killed? Were the spores that feed on electricity, were they somehow tied up with Lorca? Did he somehow put that into place so that the shuttle would be in danger and they would have to rescue Michael and the other prisoners? Did that creature, that animal, did it belong to him? I don't think it did at this point. But what's he planning to do with it? It seems simple to me that, okay, Lorca's a guy who wants to win the war, and he's using these faster than light spores to outfit the USS Discovery for these incredible speeds, so that he can take the Klingons by surprise at any moment and destroy them. Is that as simple as his plan is? Because he seems pretty devious with his methods of trying to execute on that plan. Seems like Starfleet wouldn't have a problem with him experimenting with these spores, as opposed to him having to, grab Michael, kill a shuttle pilot, possibly put his crew that goes onto the USS Glen, their away team, put them at risk. So what is he up to? Is it something more that he's involved with? I've seen some theories that he is similar to Will Riker's previous captain of the Pegasus, who was doing experiments and it led to the Pegasus being encased in rock or something like that. Yeah, oh, they were trying to do a cloaking device that could also phase through solid material. Some people are saying that he's like Captain Ransom from Voyager's Equinox episode, where the captain exploits these alien creatures who can generate energy, sustainable energy, so that the USS Equinox can continue its trip home, because it was trapped in the Delta Quadrant as well. I speculated that he was going to turn out, that Lorca was going to be like Captain Maxwell from the excellent episode of Next Generation, The Wounded, where we meet the Cardassians, by the way. That Lorca is on some sort of, what do you call, vigilante thing, where he wants to kill all Klingons. Just like Maxwell wanted to kill all Cardassians, because the Cardassians were, fomenting war across the quadrant. Same thing with the Klingons, that Lorca was going to be similar to that. But I don't know, Lorca's got this Negan thing going on, like I said before. Some other people say he reminds them of the governor from The Walking Dead. So he's clearly not a good dude. I don't know, maybe he's just got this warped thinking, and he thinks that the end justifies the means out of loyalty to Starfleet. But do you think he's up to something even more sinister? Do you think his character is going to be around for the second season? It's an odd way to introduce the ship that is named after the show, because it doesn't seem like that this ship is on the up and up, particularly with this captain. So help me out with those questions, guys. Why were there Klingons on the USS Glenn? What is this monster, this creature that was on that ship? How did it get there? Did Lorca put it there after all? Doesn't seem like he did. And what do you think his ulterior motive is? So, all right, get at me with those questions. I admit I don't have the answers, so I need your help. Until then, we got another episode coming up in a couple days. I'll put out a review. I want to get your thoughts on it as well. I'll talk to you then.